Probability factor of 1 to 1. We have normality. I repeat, we have normality. Anything you still can't cope with is therefore your own problem.
Oh look, a muted Christopher.
USB, does that work? There we go. That was weird. Why was that? Why did that happen? Thank you very much. Sounds. We have sounds. We have sounds. Hello Mannerings, hello Teeny Tiny, hello Purples, hello Cookie, hello Henster. How is everybody doing? Yeah, we're going to try and sculpt some feathers today. That's the idea anyway. See what we can do.
Clickety on buttons is hard. You might forgive me, Christopher. We have sound, but we have no fucking music. Fuck.
We don't have any music. I know we don't have any music yet. I'll get to the music as well. Right. Yeah, we're gonna do some sculpting. I'm really annoyed that I broke that, but never mind. That's okay. And I need. Where is my green stuff? There is my green stuff. So yeah, how is everybody doing? Are we all okay? The sound of rats. The sound of rats is here. The sound of rats is here. How are you, Spiky boy? We need to glue that backpack on. We're going to use a normal backpack on this one just for a little bit. These are some of the ones that I've dipped. So these have all been dipped and stripped, along with I've done a handful of, what are they called? Incursors. I've stripped a handful of the incursors as well. So some of these ones are done, including, where's that one? That one's Cave and Shrike. At least I think it's Cave and Shrike, isn't it? I think that one's Cave and Shrike. So yeah, I've got his body as well. So I've got loads of incursors, but what I wanted to do was get an eliminator, and I want to put loads of feathers over the top of the cape. I think I want that to be like the first try that I do for that sort of stuff, and then we'll cut some of these skulls off, replace them with raven skulls, and play around with that. I think that's the plan. We had rain, not a lot, but some, so that was goodish, I guess. More would be nice. It's so warm here, it's ridiculous. It's so warm, it's ridiculous, honestly. Yeah, so I have tea and I have some water. Oh, tea just because, and then water in case. Okay. So yeah, I've got some green stuff. I'm going to do a load of green stuff. Feathers is the plan. And yeah, I think I probably need to glue that on because I want to kind of tuck the feathers. I want to kind of tuck the feathers in there, and then have them rolling over the top of the cape. And then this will be the kind of like the easiest one to start with, I think. And I do have I think I've got the gun on sprue still. I want to remove that. Actually, no, let's not remove that. Let's just remove the skull and replace that with a raven skull. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, I want to glue that on, and then we can tuck the feathers into it, or maybe even like make the feathers go over the top of it as well. Like you could have some feathers coming over the top. So yeah, how is everybody? Are we all okay? Is everybody having a good Wednesday? It's ridiculous. That's really nice. It's bonkers. Bonkers. Right, where's the glue? Got some glue here. Hey, Shirato! How does the Brits feel? We survive the handful of days where we need it, and then don't worry about it, basically.
You have been weighed.
Oh, War Masters!
You have been measured.
You have been measured.
And you absolutely
have been found wanting.
There we go. So that's going to go there like that. I think, anyway. Whatever is wrong, Chris, it's a lovely 24 at my desk. Wow! Nice, dude. Nice! Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to put a load of feathers sticking up from there, some feathers falling down there. So, basically, we're just going to spend all day sculpting feathers, I think. That's the plan. Not entirely sure what's going to happen with that strap. We could probably have the feathers coming over the top of that strap. That's okay. So, I'm going to mix up a little bit. I'll mix up a little bit of green stuff, and then see how it deals with the heat, kind of thing. Stiff upper lip and a cuppa. Yes, a cuppa and a scone. Oh, I'd like a scone. I'd like a scone. I would like a scone. I'd like a scone and some cold, fridge chilled jam on top. That would be awesome. Now, I think... Oh, it's a Spelltree raid. How are you, Spelltree? There we go. We're going to go a little bit more yellow on this because that quite good on the sticky side, I think. Spelltree, how are you? And Atari! Talking about jam when I raided in. Of course. Of course. Why would I not be talking about jam?
Yes, I'm a gatekeeper and a hater. I'm also God's favourite princess
and the most interesting girl in the world. That is what it's about. The most interesting girl in the world is here. I had him talking about a cuppa and a scone, so it's partly my fault. Oh dear. How are you? Anna Collie! Hello, Collie. Yeah, I don't do great without random highs of heat, especially if the house is insulated, so it never leaves the portable aircon. Oh! Sounds good. Right, so I'm going to make sure that I work this and keep working it and keep working it and keep working it, because that's one of the keys to green stuff. Whew. How was your stream and what was your record, Tree? What was your record, Tree of Blood Bowl? Tree of the misspellingness? Typical. Oh no, I thought that. Thank God that stopped. as long as you have enough to share. Just one game today? Only one game, and then you raided me? Wow. Thank you very much for the raid. Congrats on the win. How come only one game? Did you start streaming too late? Is that what it was? Did you stream too late? Ran out of time? Were you not organised? Miss Peltry wasn't organised. Because that's what I felt like, to be honest. Not in my most blood bowly fate. Oh, really? Didn't you do a tournament a few weeks ago where you played Andy first game? Oh, I'm really sorry. Yeah, you played Andy first game, didn't you? With the bloody Chaos Dwarfs that I painted for him. I'm really sorry about that, Tree. Tabletop Blood Bowl is always great. Getting Davo in round 1, eesh. Yeah, and it was Chaos Dwarf Andy Davo as well. He wasn't pulling any punches. He's like, I'm going to play all the teams to, like, pro level or something in tournaments. The first team I'm going to do it with is Chaos Dwarfs. I loved it. It was wicked to play him, and his Chaos Dwarfs looked okay, I guess. I'm not going to tell you how long it took me to paint them, Tree. So he can't. They were beautiful, of course. I'm definitely not telling you how long it took me to paint them then. Right, okay, so that's... Okay, so I think what we do... little balls, turn them into little eggs like that. Oh, that's really sticky. We're gonna run with the dog. Bye. We need. That's really sticky. Maybe I've made this too sticky. Maybe I've made this too sticky. And get some greaseproof paper. Okay, so Vaseline. So I think what we do is we get little balls like that. We turn the little balls into an egg. Like that. And then, oh dear. And then with the egg, there we go. The egg. How big do we want to do this? We flatten that out. So if we do that, and the same on this one. Okay. So, feather. Feather's going to look like that, and then if we squash get a 90 degree. There we go. If we squash one side of it like that, and then squash the other side of it to leave a ridge in the centre. Who's that? Ah, thank you very much for the sub. How are you doing? Welcome in. Chris is getting lubed up. I'm trying. This is the first time I've tried to sculpt on this sort of scale. And I'm not entirely sure how the heat is going to cope. I'm trying to How are you, Mannerings? Trying to get that ridge going at the centre of the feather. Right, so just a quick question while I'm doing this. How big is that? Is that too big, or is that's too big, isn't it? So we need to do teeny tiny ones. We need to do even smaller ones. How's Chris
Well, we can always build more killbots.
We could indeed always build more killbots. I am struggling. I don't know whether you can see how sweaty I am. Yeah, it's not pretty. Feathers target. Sorry, I didn't answer, did I? Try and make a load of them. And the idea that I've got is to make these little balls, because we're going to have to sculpt a load of these feathers. Make these little balls, flatten them out, and then you can kind of shape them. Finding CZV, LinkedIn, etc. Nice, dude. I need to reply to an email about a job offer later this week. Commission stuff. Yeah, so a bit of a more regular commission stuff. So commission studio. Which will be which will hopefully open up the streams to just be a little bit more chilled and not stressing about self-promotion all the time. I won't be able to paint them on stream, so I'll have to paint and then stream, but it just means that I'll be able to stream whatever I want, which I enjoy doing all the commissions for you guys and everything, for sure. Oh, that was a bit of a funny one. Let's get rid of that one. So yeah, it'll be fun. Alright, so I don't know if this is going to work. Yes. So the idea is you turn all of these balls into eggs. I have started watching Alien Earth, by the way. Bloody hell, that's going to be a good. It's going to be a good series. Need a reference on LinkedIn. Actually, it's somebody like the first thing they said on the phone call is, we've seen you on Twitch and YouTube, and thumbs up kind of thing, which was really nice. So then hopefully what we can do is flatten all of these out and turn them into I didn't even know there was a link. There was such a thing as LinkedIn references, to be honest, dude. That's kind of cool. Now the question is that easier, or is it easier to roll out a flat thing? Is it easier to roll out a flat sheet and then cut lots out? There's even analytics on your posts. Feathers for Raven Guard, not Death Guard. Death Guard? You could outsource this to mice and use their little... Yeah, you might be able to, like, stamp them out. If you made a stamp, what would you make a stamp out of? What could he make a stamp out of? Wonder whether you squashed a bit of tube. Make a little cookie cutter. Yeah, and just like go dink, 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 dink. Let me go get a bit of tin. Okay. So, let's see. I'll just remove I had, remember when Baz was in here and told me to use an old tomato puree tube? So I had one of those, but it blew out of the window in a storm the other week, and it just flew off down the road. I had no idea where it went. Never found it again. Okay. So if I get this and I cut it up here and then bend it around something and then put a point. Let's start with something a little bit wider. Actually, let's cut it in half. Let's do... Oh yeah, because we can... Oh yeah. Okay, so let's make it a little bit wider than I think we need it. Like that. And then, I'll get rid of that bit. And then what we can do is if I bend that around there, probably... Oh, it doesn't bend. It doesn't bend. Right, let me go get a can. I threw a can away earlier. One sec. Okay, let's try this. This might be too thin now, but we'll see. Okay. Might be. It might be too thin. So we want a square end, and then we want to bend it around something like that, and then that there should be feather shaped. So now all we've got to do is work out how to hold that together at the end. Bit of super glue, what do you think? Because it's the inside that we want, so the outside doesn't matter, does it? So let's use a bit of super glue. Now, is that... That's probably about the right size, actually. Let's get a bit of super glue with this. Get that in there like that. There we go. That's plenty. Okay. And then if I do that, and then I'll just spray this with some accelerator if I can remember where it is. There we go. There. So that should be, once it's dry as well, just crush all this up at the top. There we go. What do you reckon? Do you think this will work? So now what we've got to do is we've got to roll out a really thin thing and then stamp, 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 cut all those out. So we'll drop that there like that for a bit. I'm going to combine all of these. Hopefully these haven't started curing too much. No, they're fine. They're still really malleable. Yeah, we're making bunny ears. Good day for fishing, isn't it? No, we're making feathers for... we're making feathers for this, to put feathers on the top of the cape. And we've just gone through a few different ways, or tried to go down a few different ways of making them. And now I've come up with a new plan. Hopefully Hopefully this will work. Now that's really thin. And then now what we should be able to do is stamp out some feathers, look. Are they feathery enough, do you think? Oh, that one's stuck in it, that's not good. Okay. So I'm not going to put texture on them. So I'm not going to do the feather lines in them, but I am going to try and put a. I'm going to do like, because I think I want to do them a bit more stylized and do some. And I don't know how long is best to leave the green stuff. They seem to be stamping out pretty well now. Just make sure I keep putting Vaseline on the stamp. There we go. Okay. So okay. Okay, green stuff is a nightmare, isn't it? It's a nightmare to work with. Do you have to? Do you think you wait for this to cure a little bit? Oh. How does Baz work with green stuff? This is ridiculous. That's a fucking heart, not a feather. Oh. Oh my god. Right, okay. Oh. Okay, so I need longer I need longer, thinner. Okay. Scrap that. Scrap that as an idea. Let's get that rolled out again. These are okay. Alright, let's try. Jesus Christ. Hey Sinister, how you doing? I'm trying to do feathers. We need bars. See, I can't even cut a shape of a feather. And that's too big. Oh, looking hot. It's ridiculous today, to be honest. This is the hottest I have ever been on a stream. I don't know whether you can see. There you go. Just dripping. Just absolutely dripping. How are you? Okay. So I think like that's the right shape. I mean, it's not difficult to make a feather. So maybe I should just try and make feathers like that. The only thing is I don't know whether that's too big. And then you've got to make that centre line down the middle, like that. Without this is so annoying. That's just going to end up looking like a leaf. You can't get... Ah! God, this is infuriating. This has been... I've been on for an hour, so this is like an hour. This is an hour in the making, this. So it has set. It has sat for a little bit. Oh my word. Brass etch isn't going to work though, is it? Because we need to, like, the whole idea is that I'm making this. The whole idea is that. So I need feathers which I can sculpt and position around there like that. That's the whole point. So, and it's just sculpting a fucking feather. This isn't difficult. So I've got to learn somehow. I have to learn. It's not difficult. I've got to be able to sculpt a fucking feather. I made a little punch, look. Made a little punch to try and punch out some feathers like that. But that didn't seem to work. Yep. So I made a little. I thought we could. We were doing that, and I thought, oh, I could do one of this. So I got a can and made a little punch, which works. But then it's really tricky to get the feather out, and now I've got to try and hold it while I shape it. So the idea, because if you look at a feather, it's a dead simple shape, and then it has it's just not sticking, so you can't fucking do anything. Where's Baz? So in theory, I sculpt them before they cure. And then place them on so that they then stick. But these have been, I've been pissing around with them for so long that this is all now cured. Let's get rid of this one. Just very quickly, I want to take off the I'll take off the end of that. Just want to take off the end of it, so that because it's a fucking feather, right? As long as it looks like as long as it's roughly the shape of a feather, when you paint it, it's going to look like a feather, because it's in the context of Ravengard. There we go. Tuck it in. So we're supposed to tuck it in down there like that. Shape the feather a little bit. And then it's supposed to have a centre spine running down the centre of the feather, which I just thought I could do that. Just flatten one side and flatten the other side and leave a centre thing. So that was the only idea I had. Maybe that's all I need to do. So maybe actually that's all I need to do. Maybe I just need to cut out rough shapes like that. You could just also paint the centre. You could, yeah, like the scale of things I could just paint and highlight down the centre, so I could. Because these are tiny, tiny, tiny. So maybe I just do that. Should we just try and do that? This is utterly ridiculous. And then that, it's trying to get it out of this, you see. Once it's been punched out, there we go. And then that comes out there, and you take the top off it so that it sits. So it's not even a fucking teardrop at this point. It's just a hint of a feather. Give the edge of the shape some nicks, then paint the rest. Yes, so that was the other thing that I wanted to do as well. So once you've done this, I wanted to just cut some feather nicks out like that. That's where we started. That's where we started, teeny tiny. I started doing that, and then I thought, oh, I know. Why don't we just stamp them out? So then we took a quick second to go and make the stamp, and then I kind of got stuck, I suppose, trying to do the stamp, where I maybe. And this has got to be layered, hasn't it? So to be fair, that's got to be... Maybe you just do one side of that. Okay. Right, let's try. Yeah, we started off teeny tiny doing this, because I thought, oh, that would be the easiest way to do it. You do a ball. You turn it into an egg, and then you flatten the egg. And then shape it really loosely into a shape of a feather. Yeah, it's probably the best way to do it, isn't it? That probably is the best way to do it. If you open it out to retrieve the feather. Yeah, well then you, like, that's super glued there like that, so that you get that point. But like, how are you going to open it out? I don't know. I think this is probably, with hindsight, like I'm trying all different. That's really thick. So yeah, I think teeny tiny. I think you're right with the squash a sausage. Yeah, and you've got to, like, I'm trying to make a load of them, so you couldn't open it up, take it out, and then close it, and you have to keep doing it like a million times. Let's do a few more of these ones, like this. And then turn that into a point at the end. Yeah, I think it's this, isn't it? And then if I can just pick that up. Yeah, it's the stamp's working. The stamp's working. Because you don't want the green stuff to end up in there. You want the green stuff, you want it to be stamped out. Whoops. You want it to be stamped out, and then actually that's come out really well. So maybe that's all I needed to do, just wait for it to cure a fraction longer. There we go. So maybe that's what we needed to do. Maybe I just needed to leave it that fraction longer. Oh, that one's stuck in. Damn it. Damn it. Yes. Yeah. I thought I'd left it, honestly. I thought I'd left it long enough, but clearly not. So it's just that. Oh, that one's not. That one hasn't stamped out enough. There we go. Okay, so we've got 4. Let's see if we can do something with these then. So cut the tops off. Jesus Christ, it's so hard. Oh my word. Okay, cut the top off that one. What's the temp? It's too much. Okay. So if I take one of these and tuck it underneath that one. No, let's take that one. Because that one's been cut at an angle. So take that one and put that in there. Just a little bit thick. Oh. Home office at 23. Oh, I'd love a 23. Oh, I wish Baz would log on. Have I not put music on? I haven't put any music on, have I? I've not put any music on. Oh. Oh my word. What time is it? There we go. I blame purple. She must be slacking. I blame purple as well. Yeah, let's blame purple. I can't remember it being this hot. Like, it's always been like uncomfortable to paint in sometimes, but this is like, I'm dripping. This is silly. I don't know where it's come from. Right, so that I think needs to go under. Needs to go under these. So if we lift those up, flatten this down a little bit. How's this looking, guys? What do you think? Yeah, the little stubby one's actually quite good. The ones that have got the long point maybe don't look as much like feathers. I think I'm getting caught too much in trying to layer it straight away, and I need to get like a first layer down like that. That one's brilliant. I like that one. That one was one that we made with the sausage. Trying to stub them out a little bit. Yeah, I like that one. The one that we flattened out a sausage. So I think we flatten out sausages because I don't like the ones I don't like are actually the ones that are teardrops. So I think we flatten out sausages. I'm just trying to take the point off these a little bit. That one's the right kind of shape. The teardrops aren't as good. And they're not sticky anymore, so I'll probably need to make up some more. Okay. So get rid of this one as well. That one's okay. I don't mind that one. I don't mind this one. I don't mind that one. That one's a little bit thick. Yeah, they're all cured now, so I can't. They need to be stuck on the model with their tack before they get to this point. Super glue, no. No, 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 no. If you get it right, you should stick from being the right. Let's take a chunk out of this one. And just take the point off that one as well, and then reshape the point. So right, this is what all this was about. I really wanted to kind of, this is something that I've been meaning to kind of get on with for a while, so this is good. So the ones I like are I think you need variety. Oh my word, I am absolutely dripping. This is ridiculous. Oh. Okay, and then that one there, that should stick there. That one's quite a nice little one, so I'm kind of pointing up out of the way. Okay, right, so let's get rid of all of this. Let's mix up another batch, and I'm going to do some little sausages like we did before, but we're going to do them one at a time and then place them. Yeah, you see, that's not tacky anymore at all. There we go. A little more yellow than blue, so it's a bit more sticky. Climate's fucked. Okay, right, we got this. Let's do this. Yes, yeah, definitely sinister. Like that's the whole point of this one, and also why I picked the Eliminator as well, is because there's a whole big like canvas here that I can practice on, and I want to. It needs to, like, this is the end goal. That's the end goal. Like just loads and loads and loads. So once you've got that in the context, they're going to look like feathers. So hopefully we can make this look okay. But that just didn't seem to work. And I don't want to super glue them on because I want to kind of position them and get them flowing. So I want to be using the the sticky tacky of the putty to attach it. Because in the long run, that's the right thing to do, I think. Okay. So, tiny ball. Roll a tiny ball. Turn the tiny ball into an egg. Squash egg. There we go. Okay. Yeah, see, that's going to be fine, isn't it? That's just going to be... And then what you can do is you can just remove... cut out of it. And leave a cut out of this side. Like that. And then that should... Okay. Okay. I think we've solved this. So take a tiny ball, and then obviously all these tiny balls as well are all going to be slightly different sizes. So as soon as we turn them into an egg and then flatten them out, we're going to have all sorts of different sizes of feathers. A tiny bit of point on that one. Crack the code. I think so, dude. I think so. I think so. I'll try and get a load done. And I think you've got to start out like this. Like, you've got to go around where the feathers need to finish and then build them up on top. Otherwise, you just end up with no space. Out of the way. Put that down there like that, so that's flat. And then we have a ball there. And oh, that's a big ball. Just take a bit off that one. Oh, we'll do two. But one thing I wanted to make sure on this is that the detail was still there. So I didn't want like massive, chunky... I didn't want massive chunky feathers. Like, one of the things that I really admire and like about, if I can make them like teardropped and a little point at one end like that, then when I flatten them out, there we go. Oh guys, we fucking nailed it. Look at this. Yeah, one of the things that I really like about Valborn stuff is how tiny it is. Because, yeah, there we go. That's what we need to do. That's what we do, look. So you make a little kind of pointy, and then you flatten it out. Flatten it out, and there's your feather. Okay, so let's take some chunks out of this again. This one. Inhumanly precise. Yes. And that's what I'm chasing, because I really like it. Let's see if I can do that spine when they're on the... Do that little spine while they're on the... There we go. To Valborn is ambitious. I know, but you got to start somewhere, right? Everybody's got to start somewhere. And this is what I mean by personalising Space Marines. So I think I'm dead excited about this. There we go. So if we carry on that all the way around here, so we want all of this shoulder to be covered in feathers, and then once you've done all this, then you can start dropping them in at kind of better angles, so that they had a bit of Space Wolf projects going back in the Indominus spots, lots of green stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the Space Wolves are cool, but they're not quite me. So if I just make that a point there like that again. Whereas I think the Raven Guard are much more. So if we just flatten that out. Getting a little bit big, so we're going to hide that one on the crease. There you go. This is cool. Okay, I'm dead excited now. This is awesome. patch notes are up? No way. Oh. Are they good ones? Are they good ones? Shit, we have to do a video. Gonna have to do a video. Oh my word, loads. Rogue. Increased level scaling damage modifiers on toxins. Why? They hit hard. What are you doing? Wizard. Warrior. Druid. Dialord. Classes. Addresses numerous stacking issues for buffs and debuffs. Okay. Headband of Woven Crystal has had its int removed. Oh, int bonus moved to con. Why are they still putting con on shit? Spirit of Endless Frost has 2. Frost Rimmed. Corrected the AC value of Frost Howl Greaves. Shifted Charisma to con on crystalline leg plates. Why? Increased con and wisdom by 1. Shaman have got Scepter. God, they're obsessed with fucking Constitution. Gal of the Hearth. It's missing 1 stat. Added to int. Added small smell power bonus. Oh, nice. That's cool. Can now be triggered once per game day if a player attempts to trigger her. Well, I mean, we know that already. Final encounter has been adjusted to resolve some bugs and prevent potential. Yeah, okay. Molten Key is now correctly tagged as a quest item. Excellent. Oh, nice. Sweet. Nice one, Moo. Nice one. I am currently sculpting feathers. Currently sculpting feathers on a cloak. In 90-degree heat. Absolutely. I am very hot. How are you? So that's coming down at 6, so we've got 20 minutes. Okay. That's fine. I can. I will actually do a patch notes video this week. That sounds like a good thing to do. I'm just working a bit. Nice. We were on our alt group last night, which is awesome. The alt group is going to be ridiculous, dude. It's a druid, a shaman, a paladin, which is already dumb as shit. A rogue, a enchanter / necro, which is me, and a summoner. And it's just like, how many mobs do you want to kill at once? 6? Yeah, sure. 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 Sounds good. Right, let's get this feather flattened out. The heat is actually making the Vaseline go watery. It's melting the Vaseline! This is absurd, guys. This is absolutely ridiculous. Right, let's do that spine. And I'm going to make a chunk out of this. There, like that. There we go. And then this can go on there. Of course there's an alarm off now. It's a red hot day, I'm streaming, and now there's an alarm. We're going to want to do the raid again on Saturday now, though, because we've got the patch. I'm gonna have to finish, guys. I'm gonna have to finish and go and cool down. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. However, I'm gonna go and cool down. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna finish off sculpting these and then take a photograph for Instagram, because this I'm rather enjoying this. I think it's quite cool. First 5 Terminators taking a bit of a dreadnought base. First 5 Termies, nice. Yeah, so it's roll out a pointy sausage, flatten it with a silicone tool, which, to be fair, is exactly the same shape as what we were doing with the thing. And then you just run a spine down it. Pick it up and place it on the model. They look pretty. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with them. I think they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be okay. I'm a little bit worried about like the detail and the creases on some of them, but I think that will be okay. And the variety is nice. The scale of them is okay. The size of them is okay. Like this one's quite chunky, but it's going to have a couple of small ones on top of it. They look really, really shiny. So as soon as they've cured, we can wipe them and get some isopropanol and just wipe them with a Q-tip. So yeah, you roll out a pointy sausage like that, and then you just flatten it out like that. And do a cut in this one. Like that. And then you just pick it up and place it on the model again. I'm trying to get a little bit of motion going into some of them, but they're obviously they're quite a wet mix of the epoxy, so the cure is going to take a while before I can manipulate it, and because I do that curve there and then it just kind of falls back in, so that's okay though. But like you say, it's just going to take a long time. But I'm kind of up for it. Yes. But I do want to get some photos of them, like once it's all green stuffed, because I want to show off what I've done. I think this is definitely going to be right up my street of doing individual models. I wonder how many feathers it's going to be. Reminds me of all the fur trim and stuff I sculpted on my eliminators. Yeah, eliminators are... I think eliminators are cool. But this doesn't take very long, does it? Like, you can make a little pointy thing like that. Flatten it out. I need a box of eliminators and a box of heavy intercessors so I can kit myself a Space Wolf version of a kill team Justinian. Alright, this is the last one I'm going to do because then I've done the whole... Maybe I'll do a couple more on the... maybe I'll do a couple more on the other shoulder pad, but then I'll finish up the stream because this is ridiculous, guys. I've never... Right, last one. Maybe. Quite enjoying doing this. Justinian is a Space Wolf kill team where you get a captain and a limiter. Oh, okay. So it's a kill team wording. Yeah, no, it's everybody knows my opinion on current 40k, particularly current 40k Space Marines.
I hope you sculpted a bunch of abandonment issues for this model, Christopher. Fuck. Moo.
Thanks, Olivia. No, just lots of feathers at the moment. How are you? That is like the last feather I'm going to do though, because as you can see, I am absolutely dripping. This is ridiculous. How are you though? I might do one more feather. I keep saying I'm going to do one more and then that's it. And then I end up doing another one. Yeah, it's not been this hot when I've been streaming forever. I've been hot and uncomfortable, but I am dripping. This is ridiculous. So yeah, last little bit, and I'm gonna go and cool off and make some dinner. Oh my word, right. Oh. Go on then, one more. There we go. Right, I'm going to let all those cure, and then I'm going to sculpt some more on top. But right now, I'm going to go and cool off. Oh my word. Right, thank you very much everybody. Is anybody on? Is anybody mad enough to be streaming right now that we can raid? Cryo sounds good. Flash raid cryo cheese. There we go. Right, have a good one everybody. Take care, have a great evening, and I'll see you all later. Cheers, bye.